Welcome back. You're watching Morning Live. Thank you very much for joining us now. Under-resourced aspiring dancers in the Free State, Northern Cape and Mpumalanga have received a helping hand. The National Lotteries Commission is in partnership with Moving Into Dance Mophatong, MIDM, to fund a groundbreaking initiative to empower community performing artists from these three provinces. This initiative will last for a period of 6 months. I'm joined now by the CEO and Director of Education at MIDM, Nadia Virasamy. Nadia, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Sam.
Let's talk about, you guys always do amazing work. I mean, from your founder to just the years, I mean, we know this company so well, but there's a lot of people that might not know what MIDM does. Just very quickly, brief us on it.
So, Moving Into Dance was founded in 1978 by Sylvia Glasser as one of the first mixed-race companies in the country. So we started off as an activist organization, and we continue to work on a similar ethos where we essentially target youth from under-resourced or impoverished backgrounds and train them at full cost to ourselves. So Moving Into Dance basically works in terms of a 3-year training program, and then we also have a professional dance company. But we have deep community roots, which we try and sustain through that. We speak a lot about dance, and that's what we do, but dance is a medium to job creation, skills development, empowerment. Yeah.
Let's talk about the 3 areas that you'll be focusing on now. I mean, you've been training dancers, aspiring dancers, for years now, taking them from where they come from into Gauteng, training them, and then sending them back so they can pass on the skill. This is a little bit different, though.
Yes. So we've got 20 Moving Into Dance members, inclusive of our professional dance company and our 2nd and 3rd year trainees. And we've sent them off to 3 provinces, so they've been there for the last 5 weeks, to Mashadasdorp in Mpumalanga, to Kimberley in the Northern Cape, and to Welkom in the Free State. And they're working with a group of 10 youth that essentially do not have the opportunity to be trained adequately in dance and to perform. And that's what they're doing. They're basically training them in skills that range from arts administration, because they get to administer the entire project themselves. They get to stage a production. So apart from, sorting out their costumes, getting together a production that's fit to be staged, they also get to administer this entire thing.
Talk to me about, from an initiative perspective, how are these 10 individuals chosen? Have you identified young people with a particular set of skills, maybe?
Mm-hmm. So we have a vast graduate network. I mean, being around for 38 years and doing community work for that long, we've essentially worked through our graduate network across the country. And it is our graduates that have community groups, and we have selected 3 groups in these different areas.
So at the end of this pipeline of services that you're providing, empowering young people, giving them a set of skills, what are you hoping to achieve at the end of all of this?
Okay. So I think firstly it is empowerment, and secondly it is to take dance to the communities where it is needed, where they don't have the opportunity to access such training, but also dance as an art form. I was down in Welkom over the weekend, and they had their first production on Friday, and I was completely blown away. We managed to fill a theatre, the Ernest Oppenheimer Theatre, 3 times over, with schools, with young adults. And, just to see the reaction from the youth, like, I cannot believe that these are dancers in Welkom that are doing this. And it really was. So, it's just hearing people say things like that means that we must be doing something right. And of course, I'll have to thank the National Lotteries Commission for aiding us through this project.
Are we saying that you don't have to come to a major hub like Gauteng in order to get an audience, be able to stage these kind of productions, that there are audiences on the outskirts in these areas, so we can develop content work that fits in directly with the community? Absolutely.
I think we are absolutely spoiled for choice in Gauteng, which is probably why speaking from a dance industry's perspective, we have such a hassle trying to fill our theatres with dance. And it's not that we're providing substandard performances. We get world-class performances. I mean, works that tour internationally. And yet you still find theatres that are half full or quarter full. People are not willing to buy tickets. And yet you go to a place like Welcome, and I mean, we were selling tickets at 10 Rand and 10 Rand for adults and 5 Rand for kids, because it was the kind of community we're trying to service. But that hall was full. So I think it was just that appreciation for the arts that just got me so motivated and realized that, there is that audience out there. There are people that are desperate for the art.
When you talk about 10 Rand and 5 Rand ticket prices for audiences, traditionally I think one of the big issues that people have a perception that in order to enjoy something live or in a curated experience, that it's going to have to cost you in your pocket.
I think that is... that is part of the perception. But also, you got to, especially here in Gauteng, you got to find the balance, between undervaluing your product and overvaluing it. So
how do we, but in this scenario, you've now gone into Welcome, there's been a great reaction to the live dance production. What do we do now to keep those audiences wanting more and buying the next production? As MIDM, do you now stay with those young people and get them to develop that audience, to maybe set up a culture there?
So we've just started a conversation with the community group that we're working with some of the members that head the group, in terms of trying to take them under our wing and continue to nurture them on a long-term basis. Now, obviously, being an NGO, funding always speaks to how you move forward. So that's something that's in the pipeline and something that we definitely want to take forward. Moving Into Dance wants to have a greater personalized footprint in provinces outside of Gauteng. As I said, we have a vast graduate network, but it's important for us to physically be there as well, I think.
Awesome, fantastic. Nadia Virasamy is the CEO and Director of Education at Moving Into Dance Mophatong. She was talking to us about how their company is sharing their dance skills with the disadvantaged. And also, I'm sure you can log at Google and find out more details. It's a program you have to watch. We'll take an ad break. Don't go anywhere.